Everyone, and very much welcome to our hangout in the context of the specialization Challenges in Global Affairs to which the University of Geneva and the University of Leiden have made contributions and are collaborating to help you all with a nice final project. My name is Madeleine Hosley. I'm a professor of international relations here at Leiden University. Now, for today's hangout, let me first pass on the word to Lea Stadler from the University of Geneva, who will make a couple of remarks on the process you are in now and actually help you with some advice. Please, Lea.
Yeah, thank you, Madeleine. So as you probably all know, my name is Lea Stadler from University of Geneva. You know me from the International Organization Management MOOC. And so first of all, congratulations for having submitted your essays and having made this big step. There is now another step waiting for you, and that is actually the peer assessment. And we would really encourage you to take this step or this task seriously. Because if you fail to actually assess 4 essays plus your individual one, then you will get a 20% penalty. So that just up front, but I think you can also learn a lot by doing the peer assessment. The deadline for this peer assessment is Friday the 27th. So you have quite a bit of time to do that. And how to do actually the peer assessment, we have explained the grading criteria in a document that you find on the menu on the left, which is entitled Grading. So we will probably talk a bit more about these criteria during this hangout. But I think at this point I will pass over to Richard to continue to elaborate on the peer assessment.
Okay, thank you very much, Lea. And I'm Richard Griffiths, as you know, from the course Configuring the World, which is running at the moment. So it's into its 2nd week. So if you've got any colleagues or friends that want to join, there's still plenty of room for them. It's been decided in advance that I'm not going to be Mr. Nice Guy today. So I'm the guy who has all the bad news. And so the first thing I want to say is about the length of the essays. We want to take this seriously, but on the other hand, we realize that it's a bit unfair to penalize people for just 1 or 2 words over the criteria. So we recommend a margin of about 10%. And that means that above 3,300, when we evaluate the best of the essays, we will certainly deduct 1 point off if you've gone above that threshold. But within 10%, we thought that that was reasonable, given the fact that you're not always using your own language, that sometimes material is complex. So 300 words, that is the limit without a penalty. After that, we'll impose a penalty. Now, I'm going to hand over to Madeleine, and then I can be sort of nasty again later on.
Great. We actually make sure that we will comply with that promise. So I can easily take on the role now to say a couple of nice things about what is going on, what we are seeing. We realize that many of you are very much involved in this process of now looking at each other's essays. And you probably agree with us that this is part of a very interesting, nice learning experience to just kind of see what is going on. So it is very interesting to see what is going on in terms of the process. You have now seen not just your own work, because you probably were very much involved in your own essay, but you also see what artists are producing. And we really hope that this is a fascinating learning experience. We know that for some of you it was a bit more difficult to review someone's essay than it was in other cases. And there I should say right away, obviously there are some very good essays. And well, not everyone will be at this top level. But what will be very nice, I think, is actually to come back to a suggestion we made earlier, and a suggestion that links very much up with what one of you has posted on the forum. Let me actually mention Nyamidi Kwame Esebu, and sorry if I don't pronounce your name entirely correctly, but you also mentioned whether it would be possible, because you were reading some very interesting essays, to post some of these essays in the form of an ebook, like a souvenir ebook. And yes, we are indeed interested in making available some of the essays that we consider to be best, really high ranking. But moreover, in our final Hangout session of this project, we will be inviting some of you, kind of the top performers, to join us in a Hangout session. So you will actually get the chance to briefly present your work, and we will all kind of have an exchange of thoughts. So very much this, we hope, will be an incentive for you to really look again at the performance, at what you did, and again, this is another kind of prize we have. But I've said already too much. It really gets time to go back to Geneva to Lea Stadler for more information.
Yeah, thank you, Madeleine. So I'm kind of in between good and bad because what I wanted to share with you is just an invitation to see the peer evaluation as a learning opportunity. So what does that mean? I would really recommend that after having read the 4 essays and having gone through your essay again, take 2 minutes to reflect on what have been the common pitfalls and what have been the common mistakes that you have seen in the essays. For instance, not having a clear structure, or not guiding the reader, or not really concluding on what you have elaborated or another person has elaborated beforehand in the paper. So I think when taking 2 minutes to reflect on what have been the main pitfalls, but also what did you especially like in the reviews or in the essays that you have reviewed, you will really benefit for your next project, whether that is writing an essay or writing a report or whatever. So I think it's good to take 2 minutes and reflect on that, plus reflecting on how you manage actually the project management approach. So what are your lessons learned for the next project in terms of time management, in terms of preparation, and so on? So as we are all learning by doing MOOCs, by going through courses and so on, I think it's very good to reflect once again what worked well this time and what will I do better next time. And I think so the peer assessment is a great opportunity to actually do that. So just a suggestion from my side, and with that I will hand over to Richard.
Yeah, thanks a lot, John. I think that's a good idea, reflecting on how we could do the whole process better, because as Lea said, this is a learning process for us as well, and although we've enjoyed it, we're aware that we're in a very experimental setting, very exciting experimental setting. So any feedback you can give us, also with the feedback forms you give us, will be more than welcome, and we'll do our best. We don't think we've got this perfect, but not by a long way. But it's the first time we've done anything as exciting as this, and yeah. Anyway, that was me being nice. I've got to mention just one thing, because it's come up in the discussion group, and that's the question of plagiarism. Plagiarism is annoying for 2 reasons. There's an intellectual thing that says you shouldn't steal somebody else's ideas and present them as your own. But the other thing is it makes you suspicious. You stop enjoying reading something if you're always wondering who has actually said it. Have they said it themselves, or is it copied? And we've had some discussion on the forum that people are signaling, I've got doubts about my essay. Well, flag them. It's not your job to track whether it's plagiarized or not. You don't have the software for it, or at least I assume you don't have the software for it, and we do. And we will be checking the best essays that come through to check that they're not plagiarized. But if you think some work is plagiarized because there's a difference, serious difference in the style, in the footnote density, in the way arguments are given, yeah, let us know and we'll try and follow those through. We have software that can do that. We also know some of the simple tricks that are played, and we will check those things out. We don't think that plagiarized work should be rewarded with a grade at all, and we will take that into account. So don't put in too much work yourself. You don't have to check out every single source. If you have suspicions, just flag it, leave it to us. And with those happy few words, and darn it, I'm going to have something nice to say next time. Don't like being Mr. Nasty. I'm going to pass back to Madeleine. Madeleine, over to you.
Yes, so I think that was quite clear. We could also say that it seems to us that probably in the majority of cases, fortunately, plagiarism will not be an issue. So don't worry when you hear us actually say this, but you will understand that since we are working for academic institutions and we want to keep the level really high, that we also have to check these issues. And again, it's just a good learning process. Sometimes rules are really important to help everyone out. I think these were some of the most important things to mention in terms of formal issues. I'll actually start to only say next week we will not have a hangout, but don't think we're not around. Keep being active on the forum, keep exchanging thoughts, and you realize now and then we may also come in ourselves into the forum, but in general, indeed, we will not really do that very frequently. So we are here, even though maybe you don't hear from us directly with a hangout, but we are participating in your efforts. And from my side, I'll just say goodbye, and I really look forward to this very final event that we will have, and I hope to see some of you there. With these words, I would like to pass back to Leah in Geneva.
Yeah, thank you. And I can only support what Madeleine said. So in terms of encouraging you to use a forum and to share your ideas, your impressions with the group and with us. And I hope that you will really enjoy this peer assessment in terms of learning about the other essays, what the others have written, but also learning about the process and how it is really to evaluate a paper. And so I look very much forward to connect back with you in 2 weeks via the Google Hangouts. And for the moment, so all the best for the peer assessment. And with that, I will pass over to Richard.
Yeah, thank you very much again, Leah. And again, for me, just to say, I think that's a great idea. Get into the forums. I'm really looking forward to the Hangout because it'll be like a seminar because we'll be able to exchange views among ourselves and with you. And I think it'll be a tremendous way of closing off what I think has been a really great experience. So I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. And meanwhile, enjoy reading the other pieces. And from me as well, it's goodbye.
Great. And actually, I had just made a promise and realized I didn't stick to this. That probably happened. I am being alerted by ANAT, who helps us very much in the process of these Hangouts, that there is one other piece of information. We should remind all of you to please fill in the survey. We call it the NATO survey. Even if you don't want to be considered for an internship, we actually need to get the information. So make sure to actually fill in that survey. That was the last issue to mention. It seems to me, hopefully, we did not forget other things. So at this point, again, it has been mentioned, we really look forward to seeing you be active in the forum, and we all really look forward to the final event that we have in this specialization. So thank you very much, and from the side of our specialization, University of Geneva and Leiden University, we say goodbye for now. See you next time.